Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Almost Podcast. The guy on the Zoom right now, we go way back, and in school we just call him Terry Banton now. Because what I'm going to ask him is to introduce himself. And I know he's going to probably exclude the Terry Banton part, but that's all right. That's okay. Yeah. So we have Mr. Adriel Bailey King, and he's going to be talking about his single Cruisin, and the evolution of that song and the whole procedure and the process for making the song. So Adriel, tell us about yourself, how you started, and then we'll get into Cruisin.
Awesome. All right. I'm a musician. Right?
That's one of these.
Starting with that.
That's one of the best. I'm gonna preface this by saying,
Yes, I am a musician. I recently graduated with my bachelor's in music education and music performance.
Nice.
I teach music, produce music, perform music.
Everything is.
That's me in a nutshell. I do other things on this side. I love graphics. I do that. I do some video production as well. But music is the focus, and that's me.
All right. Okay. So, Adriel, so let's talk about Cruisin. So I know most times when you like write a song, like for me, I just have chords, and for me it's the progression, and that's kind of hear a melody. This is a little different because this is an instrumental with a guitar lick, and people know Adriel as a guitarist. He's the legendary guitarist that we all know. How you came about Cruisin? Was it like a lick that you had, or was it the chords that you had? Talk to us about that.
So I had nothing for this song actually.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't have anything. Someone invited me to do an interview on Mia Radio, and they wanted to hear some of my music. And at the time, I didn't like what I have to give to them. So I was like, you know what? I have enough time to prepare myself. Let me write something.
Yeah.
And so I started with the chords.
Right.
And once I had that that bed there, then I added on the melody. So it didn't really take that long to put together, but chords came first, then melody. And I did the melody in parts.
Okay.
Yeah. So like the main hook of the song, like what I would consider the verse, I did that like in one shot, and then everything else I added subsequently to complement what was there.
Papa, well, fancy thing. And has the idea remained the same from then to now? Because I know that some songs progress depending on like a mix or some effect that you might add or you might subtract. How what has changed, or has anything changed at all? Has nothing changed?
Melody wise, I would say nothing really changed, because the main part of the song, that's what I wrote first, and everything else is improvised. Right?
Improvised. Okay.
Yeah. So the melody that you hear at the beginning, repeated, I took my time with that. And I was deliberate about what I was putting together there.
Right.
It went through a few tweaks with like little notes here and there while I was writing it, but nothing substantial to say.
Right. Understood.
The rest of it, the improvised parts that kind of just came and went in the moment. Right?
Okay.
With regards to the chord progressions in the song, it didn't change, but I added to it a lot.
Okay, so kind of like layers of things.
Yeah, I added layers because at the beginning, the idea that I had I found that it was getting a bit monotonous throughout the song. So
Okay.
I needed to add some
Something
something
different.
extra,
Something different. Yeah.
something different to keep the
Nas
listeners
interested. Right.
interested in the song.
Right.
So I just added the different layers and came back to the original idea at certain points also.
Right. Right. Right.
Mm.
All the instruments are live, or they like samples, or the plugins. Now I'm curious because the track is really clean. It's really clean.
Right.
Bass, drums, the guitar. Well, obviously
Yeah.
we know you on the guitar.
Right. So it's me on the guitar and that's it.
Ah,
Everything else I did on my computer.
well, there you have it, folks.
Nothing else I played. Not even the bass.
Wow.
I wrote
Pre-programmed
out
everything. You
I
mix and master
per
too.
everything. Everything.
All right, well, let's get into this interview. I'm just saying. Adriel, this is Adriel Bailey King, y'all, and I think this goes to show exactly something that Kit was saying a while back. Once you have a computer, you can do so much.
Yep.
Once you know how to use that to your advantage, there's there's no limit to what you can do and what you can create.
That's so
Um,
true.
and and so now my mind is blown because the thing is that I've heard there are good plugins and very bad plugins, and there are good samples and bad samples. I'm assuming there was some EQing on tracks and stuff to get it to sound as live
Right.
as possible.
Yeah, so I have been doing production homework, homework a lot for the past 2 years or so.
Right.
So it's been a lot of researching, listening, learning, and that kind of thing. So um, actually, I had planned to play guitar and bass on the track,
Right. Right.
but it just so happened that the day I sat down to record bass, one of the tuning keys
Things break.
were broken, right? So I had 4 out of my 5 string bass strings,
Right.
and I was unable to record. So I was like, you know what?
That's
Just
all right.
program it,
Yeah. Yeah.
do synth bass, and I think everything else just kind of followed after that,
Mm.
right? Um, I did EQ most of the instruments, not so much the drums because that was a sample,
Right.
and I just added different layers. So the percussion I um, added like the swells and stuff, all
Right.
the
To kind of
kind
make
of
it
miscellaneous
live.
stuff. Yeah, to make it feel more live. Um,
It,
however,
listen, if I may interrupt, the track sounded like a bunch of musicians playing.
yeah,
The entirety of the project
yeah,
sounded live, even though
yeah,
now I'm hearing that half of this, well, 99% of it is
yeah.
programmed. So
It's
it goes
programmed.
to, as I said, it goes to show that you at least knew what you were listening for and you knew how to tweak it
Mm-hmm.
to
Yep.
suit. And
Yeah.
that is critical because I understand that there, as many people, as we've said many times on this show, there are beat makers and there are producers. It's good to be a beat maker, yes, but that
Yeah.
what you was doing is a whole next level of production.
No, but one thing I try to encapsulate
Mm-hmm.
in producing is to make the music as playable for live musicians
As possible, right?
as I possibly can. So if I have to go out to play the song with a band,
Yeah.
I could just give them scores or just teach them the parts or whatever, and it should sound as close to the original as
As
possible.
possible, right?
Yeah.
Because I know that, and this is, if I may comment outside of this genre of music, this is a problem that a lot of pan arrangers have. A lot of pan arrangers
Yeah.
put down a lovely arrangement MIDI, and they don't know the ranges of each of the instruments and when
Mm-hmm.
it and the playability of the notes. And so when you put that down on
Yep.
a in a pan yard and you find the pan people struggling, it's not because the panists
Yeah.
can't play it, it's because it's just not realistic for the instrument.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. I think, well, for me, that wouldn't happen so much because I just use more contemporary instruments.
Yeah.
But the one instrument that I may have some concerns with regards to that is piano
Mm.
because I the voicings that I use for my chords are guitar voicings played on piano
Piano,
with
right.
some tweaks here and there to get the song that I want to hear.
Right.
So
And if you could explain to people that how guitar chords are voiced versus how piano chords are
yep,
voiced,
yep. It,
it is be a
guitar chord
challenge.
voicings are closed like this, and and piano chord
Voice.
voicings are like this because they have 10 fingers,
Yeah.
right? We have to play those chords with 4 fingers
Yeah, quite
on
literally.
6 strings,
On 6 strings.
right? I mean, you could get away with pressing multiple strings at the same time, but still, it does not sound the same. And to get that piano sound on guitar, you need to stretch really wide, and you're
Yeah.
going to damage your hand in the process, right?
Mm.
So, putting guitar chords on keyboard on the piano, um, sometimes it could be a bit muddy. So you need
Yes.
to know how to just invert stuff accordingly to give the chord some
A
space and
nice,
have it
nice breathing
sound
room.
more like a pianist played it rather
Right.
than a guitarist. Yeah.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah.
And was there kind of like, I'm guessing you would have listened to, and also especially with the piano stuff, you would have probably had to have referenced maybe a piano player. You could check this in there and see, or you, wow, okay. So I'm sure if you give the score right now to
Yeah.
a pianist, they should be able to play it.
Yeah, there should be because what I do also, I I'm not that strict with the arrangements that I do. So
So
if I
you
give
allow for some tweaking if necessary.
yeah,
Okay.
I allow for that. So if I give a musician, a keyboardist, a score, I would just have the chord names written, not the actual
Yes.
um scoring of the chord voiced in. I would just have the name written if it's a D minor 7, whatever, and they would voice it accordingly. Now, if it's played and something is clashing, then we will just tweak like where the notes are in the voicing.
Right.
But outside of that, it's up to you. You are the pianist. I'm
You
the guitarist.
you
You deal with
handle,
that.
yeah, you handle
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
Any more singles coming? Because I was so stoked to finally see. I mean, when you were on the show, we were talking about like when you were going to drop a song and thing.
Yeah,
I'm waiting
man.
patiently, Adriel. Hit me the dates
Listen,
when we see in the tracks then.
listen. All right. So yes, it's coming. But this is the story behind it. So I know we spoke about me putting out music and stuff the last time I was on the show,
Yeah.
but I got to the point where I realized like I was trying to do too much at once
Okay. Fair
with
point.
regards to creating and that kind of thing.
Mm.
So I needed to slow all the way down
And just kind
and
of
focus on one thing at a time. So I kind of started with this song, and presently I'm working on others to make like a small EP that
right.
would fall within the same genre. So I may release some of them individually as singles, but I'm working towards one big project. Yeah. So I'm not giving you a time
A time.
frame, but
Okay. Fair
it
point.
is coming.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think I got most of the answers from you, what I wanted to get asked. Where could the people find you? And I know this interview was short, but we also have some stuff coming up with Mr. Adriel Bailey King. I just saying, so well, just chill, just chill. So drop your stuff. Tell the people where they can find you.
Yep.
And somewhere in the background here, I will drop the audio track for Cruisin. So you'll link me with the audio, and we will.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
Nice. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud. Adriel Bailey King. It's my full name. My handle is Adriel B King on most of them. I think
Okay.
if not all.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Well,
right.
streaming platforms to come pretty soon, but the rest that yeah.
Very good. Very good. All right. Well, ladies and gents, you know where to find Adriel Bailey King. We will drop our link for Cruisin in the description. You'll find it. And that's it for this week's episode, guys. We will see you And we will hear you all on the next one.